Welcome to Stamping with Linda, your cardiologist, creating things from the heart since 1997. Today I'm going to show you this fun spinner card that you can do in just a matter of minutes with the Heart Collection Framelits Dies. So let's get started. First, I am going to use a quarter sheet of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to use our jumbo wheel I Love, and I could roll this over my ink pad to get my background, but because I want to do several stripes with this, I'm going to use a cartridge that I have already inked up with Stampin Up Really Red re-inker. I'm going to place my jumbo cartridge into my handle. I'm going to push up the ink cartridge. I'm going to just take it over here on a scrap piece of paper and get the ink flowing, and now I'm going to roll it onto my cardstock. The thing when you're using a jumbo roller you need to think about is going in a straight line and not to rock. I find it best to hold it at a 45-degree angle, using the edge of my roller to the edge of my cardstock and rolling my project like so. So I've got that inked, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the new Heart Collection Framelits. This is new in the Occasion Mini with Stampin' Up. It is 6 different sizes of hearts gradually coordinating out. I did number my framelits so that I know which heart I'm using and what is the correct one to use after that. So I'm going to use number 3 and number 4. You may be familiar with these framelits from other companies, but with them the knives are in the middle of the heart framelit, where Stampin' Up's are right at the edge. And the reason for that is that Stampin' Up has coordinating stamp sets to go with their framelits. The hearts match very nicely with the Take It to Heart stamp set, and you can see with the knives for the framelits being at the edge, we can coordinate and cut our image out very easily. Again, for my spinner card, I'm going to use number 3 and number 4, and I need the Big Shot to cut my hearts out. The Big Shot machine comes with 2 cutting mats. You can tell my cutting mats are well loved, the platform and the machine. When you purchase the Big Shot comes as a set like this, and then you need accessories to go with it. So, for instance, the Framelits die. The framelits, you're going to make your sandwich using the tab 2, and I am going to line the number 4 up like so. I'm also going to go in and take, I forgot to do this earlier, I'm going to take the Take It to Heart stamp set. I have it on the clear mount blocks. I'm going to ink it in the really red and stamp it on a scrap piece of paper. The nice things about the framelits that I'm finding is it's making me use my scrap pieces of paper that I have in my drawer thinking I'm going to use but never go back to use them. So I'm now going to take the number 3, taking the knife side and placing it down on my stamped image like so. Now if you find that you have trouble keeping your dies in place, you can always take a Post-it note and place over top of it, or mount it down with Ardato, which I'm going to show you later, to hold those dies in place. So I'm going to run it through the Big Shot, and it has cut my hearts out nicely. Now one thing with the framelits is that it will only cut 1 piece of cardstock. Because I want to make my spinner card, I actually need the heart to go through both my quarter sheet of cardstock and the front of my card. So I've already taken my 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, and scored it with our Simply Scored. And what I need to do is to cut that heart exactly in the same place as I cut the front layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dado, and this is a non-permanent tape. It is like a Post-it note tape, so that I am able to peel it back off. If I would use a permanent tape like snail at this point and run it through the Big Shot to cut that heart out, it would be hard for me to remove the top piece, which I need to do in order to make my spinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm placing that there. I'm going to take my large heart, again, using that as a template, remembering that my edge of my knife is right along the outside edge. And I'm also going to take the negative image that I cut out of the front, and I'm going to cut a smaller heart out of that for my spinner. I'm going to do my sandwich. I have my platform. Oops, I do not have my clear cutting mat, so I need to place that down. Reassemble my large heart. My smaller heart that I'm cutting out from the negative image, and my top cutting mat to finish off my sandwich for my Big Shot. So I'm going to run that through the machine. And now I have my pieces for my spinner card. This is a very quick card to do. Kids and adults both love it because it's an interactive card. So I'm going to take my Big Shot machine, set that aside, and now I'm ready to assemble my spinner. Because I used the dado, non-permanent, I'm able to lift that piece up. I'm now going to take my my sticky strip, which is a very sticky tape, and I need that for the base of my spinner. You want a very strong adhesive so that your baker's twine will stay in place. I'm adding my sticky strip, but I don't want to put it down too far so that it will show through over my top layer. If you have a hard time getting the film off your sticky strip, if you just take your fingernail or a bone folder and run it back and forth, it'll release that tape and make it easier to pull off. I'm now going to take our cherry cobbler, baker's twine. I'm going to lay it on top of my sticky strip. I'm then going to put sticky strip on the corners of my card from my baker's twine. So I've got that. I want to push that down good. And now to make my spinner of my card, I'm going to take the heart, place it in the middle of the baker's twine, and then I'm going to take my negative image smaller heart and lay that on top. And my spinner card is done. The more you wind it up, the more flexible the baker's twine becomes and easier for it to spin when it is opened. If you want to stamp or write in the center of your card and you don't want it to show on the outside perimeter of your heart, you can use the negative image that you cut out, line that up like so. Open your card up, and that shows you where you can stamp. You can actually permanently lay that into your card, or once you stamp it, you can remove it, and then the outside border will not show. So there you have it, a quick and easy spinner card.